Cameras on, turn your cameras on. If you
Hi,
can,
it's
if you're driving,
Jessica
if you're at
from
work.
Encore's Corporate and Downey.
Jessica, good
Yes.
morning and
Good morning.
welcome.
My name is Ryan from Detroit, Michigan. Hi,
Welcome, Ryan.
thank you, sir.
All right, seeing a lot of faces. I like that. If you are driving and at work, can't turn your camera on, we understand. But if you're not, pay attention. Show the presenter that you are interested in what is being presented. Do we have any more announcements? Dr. Felicia, you're driving. Yeah, don't turn your camera on if you're driving. We don't want you to see another doctor. We understand. You won't get a tag against you you won't get a star taken away like the kids in school. You get your star taken away.
Works for me. Thank you.
Sabrina, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Sabrina.
And Don LaPlume, soon to be in New Hampshire.
Welcome, Don.
Thank you, Chris.
We are getting started shortly. Juan, you let me know when you're ready to get going.
I think we're ready to rock and roll.
All right. If your team is not on here, like I said, get them on here. This is being recorded, but there's nothing like a live presentation to get the juices flowing and to get you into action. The gentleman that I have the pleasure of introducing, he is a COO of our company. He is working behind the scenes to make sure we all get paid, we all get overrides, the system is functioning, back office is working. I don't think this guy sleeps. But he is a backbone to the company, and I want to make sure he gets his flowers while he's here. We always say, get your flowers while you're here. I give Juan praises all the time because he's always answering questions. He's always figuring things out. And if you don't know that yet, you should know that. A company is it runs on the people and the leaders of the organization. And Juan is one of those where he's working behind the scenes. He's the running reports to make sure we get our overrides paid, to make sure we get our commissions paid. So all of us salespeople that work on commission only, you need to put your hands together for Christina and Juan because they are the people behind the scenes that make this happen. So I want to put some fires in the chat because Juan is usually not presenting. So put some fires in here. Let's get them excited. And like I said, if you can turn your cameras on, do that. And I'd like to introduce one of my friends I call, not because he makes sure I get paid, but I talk to him when I don't get paid also. So I want to introduce Juan. Juan, you have the stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McHenry. Always a pleasure to hear you just host the call. All the jokes, all the, just really valid information. If you're not on here, you're really gonna miss out. And I mean, it's just amazing. Thank you for everything that you also provide to the company. And I know everybody has heard how available he has become and all the insight that he brings to the table too. Mr. McHenry, thank you so much for that introduction. And you actually did touch on a few things that I did want to start talking about today. Actually, Mr. Bean and I had been discussing about this, and then we brought it to leadership, and we had really great conversations with a lot of the leaders. And as you guys have known, every month when we're closing a month, I'm looking at those numbers. I'm looking at who's really close, who's about to hit the next rank, who's gonna be able to hit the dual teams. You'll receive messages from me saying, "Hey, one on the left, one on the right," and it's very last minute, right? Because of the way we have it set up to where it's like a 30-day every month, right? So at the end of the month is really when you have your full numbers. And as we've been talking, Mr. Bean, he has been very, very fluent with this setup that we're about to release and we're about to announce here. And we're going to position things in a different way where everyone will be at least able to see where they are and how much effort is needed for the let's just say the end of the month still, because you'll be able to have a significant amount of time before the month ends to really understand where you are and how far you are about to hit the next rank, or at least hit to the Builder 500 too, which is amazing to do. So here's some information. I hope everybody has information to write on right now, some paper and pen. I will be sending out an email as well, and we'll have something in the back office to just announce this. But what we're gonna do is the following, because it's a subscription-based system. What we are going to propose here is we're gonna have subscriptions running every first and every 15th of the month. So every first will cover any orders, any new enrollments that take place from the 1st and the 14th. Within that first 2 weeks, for the next month, that new client will be positioned into the subscription on the 1st of the month. Then from the 15th to the end of the month, those new clients will be now positioned into every 15th of the month. So every first and every 15th. And we're gonna actually kick that off this month. But we're on the 6th. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push everybody that should have been on the 1st, we're gonna push them to tomorrow. So tomorrow's is going to be the day that everybody's subscription that falls between the 1st and the 14th. Tomorrow will be the day that we're gonna be running those subscriptions. Now here's a very important thing to keep in mind. And a lot of brainstorm happened behind the scenes, and I had a lot of conversations with my devs, and we have this one solution for the For Pay No More. For Pay No More, currently is checking what you're currently doing right now at this month. So what we're going to do is we're going to see the last 30 days. What did you hit for Pay No More in the last 30 days? And if so, your order will go through without a charge for this new month. That way it covers your subscription. That way it covers no charges for those that are actually out there pushing and getting their For Pay No More. We're always going to look at the last 30 days. Now, in the last 30 days, if you did not hit that rank, right, or not the rank, but the For Pay No More, then you will be charged the $99 for this new month. I hope that makes sense, and I can clarify anything if you guys have any questions in regards to that. So with us switching it over to the 1st and the 15th, the other thing that is also going to take effect is on that every time you go into your back office and you're trying to re-add a subscription, every time because your card didn't go through or something, it's just something fell off. Maybe your card was stolen or you just lost it. In the back office, there will be an actual description and announcement of exactly why your card didn't go through. We took a deeper dive, and we want to make sure that you all receive the information accurately as far as why the payment didn't go through. It can be a billing information zip code that didn't process. It can be that the card again was reported lost and stolen, right? Or it can be that you just don't have that card active anymore. It's expired. So we'll have detailed information as far as the reason why, so that you can go into your back office and make those adjustments. Now, the calendar that's back there is going to just have the 1st and the 15th available. So you'll be in control to still switch between those two dates only. And if the 1st works for you, great. If the 15th works for you, that's fine too. Whichever date, you'll be able to alternate through that. The other announcement I also wanted to do is, so on the 15th of this month, everybody's subscription will also run on the 15th. Tomorrow we'll be running the ones that happen before the 14th of every month. And yeah, you should be able to receive a nice little email tomorrow of all your announcement of your payment being processed and all that good stuff. But the other good thing is that by tomorrow, you guys will be able to see how far away you are for that next rank, because everybody's subscription will run, and you'll be able to tell Okay, I need X amount of effort on this side or that side. Okay, I'm almost close to that next rank. And then if you feel that there's still more people in your team currently that still need to process their orders, which will happen on the 15th, then by the 15th you'll have a full view, full view of exactly where you are currently. And then you'll continue, strategizing, trying to work with your leadership, trying to figure out what will be the best approach and where should I allocate my efforts for this month. And of course, you guys will always have access to myself, to my team at any time in order to understand and strategize also at a technical level as well. Let me see. Do we have any questions on the chat? I think I see by the 15th. Yes, exactly. I just couldn't put it better myself. Mr. Bean, are you on here, sir? Do you want me to cover anything else?
Hey there, one. Let's see here. Well, you pretty much did a great job, really just laying the foundation of what we're talking about and what we're about to do. And so I do appreciate you. And I'm glad people get a chance to hear from you as a COO. Again, you're like one of the unsung heroes of the company. And, I appreciate, our relationship and, also your flexibility and, the way you have an open mind to different things that come to the table. And so I appreciate that. And so for me right now, what I do want to do is I want to, transition over to some other things as well, because, guys, this is one of those things where, I'm a firm believer of teaching from application as opposed to teaching from theory. You got a lot of people who have been in different companies and, and they hear a lot of the jargon and they teach from theory. They teach from what they've heard, not from what they've done. And, when it comes to me, some of you have seen the t-shirts that I wear sometimes it says PRIK, PRIK, perpetual residual income king, right? That's, that's not an affirmation. That's who I am. That's basically built off of philosophies and things that I've applied over the years. And I'm talking about since 96. Okay. And so one thing I do have a firm understanding of is how to build income, how to blueprint income, and how to get yourself to a sustainable income that'll retire you one day, or give you capital that will come in and help you go out there and use it for investments and other things. And so, give an example. Last company that I was in, well, the one where I actually made the most money in, is the one that I had the biggest residuals in. And in that company, there were only a handful of people, that had, bigger residual incomes than I did, right? And so a lot of those people may have made more money in the dual team, the binary, recruiting wise, but when it came to sustainability and the scalability, that's something that I mastered. Okay? And so a lot of times when you look at some people who, when you implement a change like this, they really don't understand it and they fight it. And the people who fight it, I'm going to tell you how that negatively impacts you in a moment. But it's little changes like this that make the biggest, impacts in the companies. And because those changes impact you as, down at the cellular level of the company, as people who are building it. It gives you some results, it gives you some accomplishments, gives you some things to be rewarded and recognized for, and that boosts the morale from that level, and it permeates all the way to the top, right? And so when you look at one of the things that, again, we were missing is the ability to motivate people from a rank advancement and an income perspective. Okay, yeah, right now if we're talking about BYLD as a solar company, I mean we have results just out the wazoo. We can talk about BYLD solar and sell everybody on solar 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because we did 27 million in sales last year when it comes to solar. We're great at that. Okay? But when it came to the building aspect, we have talented people here, okay? And the people who have the talent, your talent was in a system prior to today that wasn't allowing you to shine. It's like you were boxing in a boxing match with one hand tied behind your back, okay? Or you basically was in a butt kicking contest with one leg. And so we want to make sure we don't handicap you. We want to make sure we take the catalytic converter off this thing and let you run, because that's how you get to your goals. When you get to your goals, that's how the company gets to theirs. I want to ask you guys a question here. When you look at an automobile Okay. If a car is on the road, it's moving, it can be a vehicle or it can be a weapon, right? And so when you look at a car and you look at how powerful it is, how useful it is, but how dangerous it can be, if I ask you this question, what's the most important part of that car, that vehicle, what would you say? And just you can type it in real quick, or you can scream it out. The driver, okay. Steering wheel, okay. Engine, okay. Brakes, okay. Engine, okay. Hey, okay. And so Angel obviously she's been through all the training, so she gave y'all the answer. The piece that's missing, right? The most important part of any vehicle is always the piece that's missing. Okay. If the brake line is missing and you moving, is the engine more important at that time? No. If the steering wheel comes off, right, you can't get it back on and you move it. Is it more important, than the driver at that point in time? No, it's always the piece that's missing because that's the piece that really holds everything back. That's the pieces that stops everything from going forward. Okay, and so one just introduced one of the mega pieces, right? That's going to propel you guys forward fastly. And what I want to do is I want to introduce you guys to the 30% rule. Okay, and so when you look at the 30% rule, there's a positive impact, and there's a negative impact, right? The positive impact is your groups, and you can write this down or you can record this, whatever you want to do. Just know this. When I heard this changed my life. And so, and this is what I focused on because when I first got into the industry, direct sales, network marketing, I wasn't even a decent speaker. I wasn't a decent trainer. The only thing that put me in a position to win was that I was great at connecting with people, making relationships, and getting them to my leader and to the trainings. And the people who could speak well, the people who could train well. Okay. But when you look at this information right here, when they told me that my group would actually grow 30% faster and 30% bigger if I had my auto ships on the first of the month than everybody else who didn't, and that one thing could separate me from everybody else. That one thing could help me outrank everybody else because now at this point in time, if it's on the first, that means now I'm actually seeing everything like one said in the beginning of the month, which means that now I'm so excited. Now my income is growing 30% faster than everybody else who's on at the end of the month. My team, not just me, my team is ranking up more frequently than everybody, who's ranking up at the end of the month or who's hoping and praying to rank up at the end of the month. Okay. See, those people who were in the same company at the same time had the same direction given to them by the leaders and people who were making the most money in the company. They had the ability to make the same decision that I did, and I made the decision to put my ownership on the first and everybody else is on the first on my team. And they made a decision to keep theirs where it was. Okay. And so when you look at that, I want to share some with you. It got to the point to where, guys, when I did that, I went from making like $5 grand a month to 18 grand a month within 60 to 90 days, based on how things triggered and how fast people moved and how motivated people was, how excited people were, how engaged they were, how much more creative they were, how much more active and out there looking for people that they were. Okay, when we made that change, when we made that switch. Guys, think about this. When I'm waking up, every first of the month, okay, at like 18 grand in the bank. Like on the fifth, when they deposited the checks, like I see the auto ships run on the first for this month, but on the fifth, when they paid the auto ships, when they paid the monthlies, my whole entire lifestyle was already taken care of on the first of the month, the beginning of the month, right? And so, and also seeing how much volume I had. At some point in time, we had a position called Diamond. It was over $200,000, and my group at its peak was doing 1.2 million a month. But there was time, like I said, when we were running and rocking and rolling, when I hit Diamond, it was only a matter of time before I was opening up at Diamond. Okay, it was no longer taking me to the end of the month to hit that rank. Right, it was me opening up on the first of the month. Auto ships ran I'm at 180,000, I'm at 200,000, the next thing I'm at 300, 5 is going, everything is growing over time. It's compounding. The growth is compounding. The excitement, the energy, the recognition, the accolades is compounding. And people who were in the industry, they saw this happen and didn't know why it was happening. They were on the outside looking in, right? And you have a lot of people who, they've seen, our leaders, they've seen us train, they see us on social media, and they swear to God they know what we do and how we do it, but they don't. They have no idea what the secret sauce is, because this is part of the secret sauce. But you've never heard anybody talk about the 1st and 15th in the way I'm talking about it now. Okay. That will let you know that they knew what we were doing, and they didn't. Okay. And so let's make sure we get an understanding, guys. When you wake up on the 1st of the month, right? And now you got to check for $40,000 a month. And now you got to check for $50,000 a month. Now you got to check for $70,000 a month, right? We had people waking up on the 1st of the month with 80 grand, 100 grand, on the 1st of the month based on auto ships running on the 1st and the 15th, right? How much more excited do you think those individuals are in the beginning of the month as opposed to waiting 28 days, 25 days, 30 days for all auto ships to run? It's a whole entirely different world. We had people who, when they saw that, they didn't just build their neighborhoods, they didn't just build their states, they didn't just build the United States, they went and built around the world, right? They went and opened up countries, and they taught the people in those countries to do the same exact thing, right? And so, again, when you look at philosophies and you look at, the principles that govern wealth, there's a reason why, 3% of the people control 97% of the money around the world. It's because the other 97% of people refuse to, adapt to it, right? And so when you look at the positives again, guys, the energy, belief, activity, expectation levels all go through the roof based on what you see at the beginning of the month. Now I transition this over to Bill. Okay. Now, how many of you guys, just raise your hand. If you were anywhere between, 5 to 6 people away from building 500 last month, raise your hand. Just put your hand up. If you were anywhere close, if you were a sneeze away from building 500 last month, raise your hand. Just put your hands up in there, right? Because I'm looking at the people who I'm looking at right now. These will be the people who hit it this month. Okay, you'll never ever get a chance to say that again, right? And so what ends up happening, guys, and I appreciate you guys for raising your hands. What ends up happening is this: when one hits that button, and the 7th, everything that you had on the books between the 7th and then on the 15th, it hits. Now you are exactly where you ended up at the end of last month. Okay, now you have the rest of the month to go ahead and say, oh, I only needed 3 more. I got that. Oh, I only needed 5 more. Oh, I got that. I only need 1 more. Come on, man. That's done this weekend, right? You'll go get it done now, right? So when you bring the money, right, closer to you in the beginning of the month, guess what? You now bring the activity, out. Now everything you start to, because you know exactly where you're at. Confused people do absolutely nothing. And when you have people who have subscriptions running every day of the month, you can't project that. How can you blueprint that? How can you say, you know what, I know for a fact this is where I'm at, because you don't. You're working in the blind, and you've been working in the blind for a year, and now the blinders are off, right? And I told one this. I said, what's about to happen is, in the next 90 days, you guys will probably recruit more people than you did in the first 15 months. Like, I know the numbers that we expect to, where we ran last month as far as the builders are concerned. 90 days, we're gonna squash it. Like I said, if we don't do it sooner, based on what's about to happen. Okay. And so this is by design, guys. This is not accidental. And when I tell you that right now, it's still one of the strongest incomes in the residual incomes in the industry. It's still going right now, $800,000 a month in residual income, residual volume going right now. And that company that I left, those countries are still flowing. The subscriptions are still going, and it's because of how we built it. Okay, and there's also a negative impact there, because, oh, by the way, it's as easily auditable. And when I say auditable, guys, you get a chance to run your numbers every day like McDonald's. Like when I was 16 years old, had a job at McDonald's, the manager, they ran the numbers every day. When they close up, you hear the machine going, you just see that big old long tape just coming out of the machine. And it's talking about how many cups they sold and how many bags of lettuce they went through, how many patties they went through. As you will be able to know exactly, what you need to know about your business. You'll be able to look at it and tell where your numbers are. You'll be able to know who you need to work with, because guess what? If you got your numbers, guess who else got theirs? Everybody. So now you can say, okay, Aegis is just 3 people away, right, from Builder 1000 or Builder 2000. You know what? Jessica is just 7 people away from Builder 2000. You know what? Roberto is just 18 people away from Builder 4000. You know what? David is just 23 people away from Builder 8000, right? And so who these people are. You know exactly where they are. So now you know exactly where to work, right? When you know your numbers, you can grow your numbers. Guys, people don't make money, and for this one reason, is because they can't count. And I'm not talking about academically, right? I'm talking about back office math. And some of you can't count, well, some of you couldn't count based on the fact that the way the system was set up. And so now you can't blame it on the system, right? Now you will have full visibility on what your numbers are on the 1st and the 15th. And there's nothing coming after the 15th except for reruns that didn't run for whatever reason, or brand new people coming in. And that's what you control. Okay. So you'll be able to run this business. When I say get your calendar, now you see why I say get your calendars. So now every day, like in my calendar, every morning, I write how many on the left, how many on the right, how many personals on the left, how many persons on the right beneath it every morning. I've been doing that since we've opened the doors of the company. And Warren can tell you, and Winston can tell you, when something happened and a person or two fell off, and it's okay, I knew they fell off. It wasn't like it just somebody just it just happened haphazardly or whatever, and I just found out on the humbug. I knew they fell off because when I woke up and looked at my numbers, I was 1 or 2 people behind. And then once, okay, we ran a report, these people, they canceled or whatever it was, right? And so, but I knew my numbers. I know what's happening in my business because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman, okay? So when you look at the negative impact on this, guys, the negative impact, what gets rewarded gets what? Repeated, right? So if nothing is rewarded, then no one hangs around. Okay, when you look at most companies, when they have situations where people are not making money, people are not getting recognized, people are not ranking advancing, people are leaving. Okay, and people jump ships and they go to exciting places that don't pay as much. They go to exciting places that don't have what we have, but they hear the excitement, they hear the roar, they see people getting celebrated, they see the checks, they see everything that we want to show you here. Okay. Because it's not about who's got the best of anything. It's about who's doing it the best. That's what it's about, right? So you have some people who can sell you some swampland, right? And you sitting on 17 acres of beautiful land, but the way they got it packaged, it's just man, look, you don't know a swampland until you get there. They got videos with AI and everything, but they didn't sold you on 100% on everything, and you get there, you get disappointed, right? But sometimes when you're in a company where you got it so good and it's so great and everything you got you love, and it makes so much sense that you actually take it for granted to where you try to let the company do the work for you, right? And what we offer do the work for you. You feel like because you're excited, everybody should automatically get it and be excited with you. But that's not how it works. So when you have people who are not, rank advancing, not making money, people who are not getting it, they're watching other people excel and they're not, they quit. Okay. And so what I want to do right here, because they say not only they say if Cleve's team was going 30% faster, and I say Dr. Reed, his team was growing backwards in reverse, it was regressing. It's imploding because again, everybody's still on the 17th, 29th, 30th, and stuff like that, guys. That's something that you want to make sure gets fixed. And that's what, again, what we did as a company, we fixed it. So what I want to do right now, I'm gonna go over here to this little gadget here. Share my screen here. Show you guys something. This is the other reason why we did so well. Good, okay. That's what you don't do. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. Good. All right. Can you see the screen one?
Yes, Mr. Bean.
All right, here we go.
Looks amazing.
Man, I'll tell you, let's see here. All right. So, guys, what I'm gonna, this is basically called the 360-degree impact. Okay, so 360-degree impact. Okay. So in this circle, in the center of it is you, right? And you have your goals, and whatever your goals are, you want to make sure you hit them. Okay. But you want to use, the playbook. You want to use the playbook because everything we do is in fours, right? Get your four, pay no more, right? And 4x4s get you to 500, right? Get you to build a 500. So when you actually look at this, okay. Okay. So now this is you. Like I said, you're right here in the center of it all, right? And you actually help, these people here get to the 4x4. So that means you have build a 500 here, 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 and here. In this situation, what does that make you? Build a 2000. There you go. So builder 2000. Okay. So what else does this do? Okay. This now says volume goes up as well. It doesn't just stop at you, right? And so now you have a senior partner, and your senior partner is building as well. So now, if this is builder 2000 for you, this is builder 2K for them on 1/2 of their business. Okay. So imagine that Angel is my upline, and I help Eddie get to build a 500. I help Idris get to build a 500. I help Gage get to build a 500. I help and I help Jabari get to build a 500. This example, right? I help the people in my success team, right? And then I also bless the person above me, Angel. So guess what? Now all Angel has to find is another 2000, right? Another 2K from somewhere else to become a builder 4000. She now at this point in time, if she's not building at all, and she might have a couple people from spillover on the side, guys, she may already be at builder 500, builder 1000, right? She may even be at builder 2000 right now. Guess what? If she has multiple legs of businesses, she's probably at builder 4000. But I know this for certain, that Angel now appreciates me a lot more because I'm out here building my business and she doesn't have to build my business. See, guys, the more work you do in your own business, okay, the less work your leader has to do. So Erjan, the more work he does in his business, the less work Julio Aquino and Ed Ayala have to do in his business, which means that now they can do three things actually. They can go and continue to build their business. One, they can go out there and support other people who actually need their help. Two, and three, they can go out there and be creative and build a platform, continue to build that platform as big as they can so they can serve you at a higher capacity and a higher level. Okay. This is real leadership, guys. I'm telling you right now, when you look at people who are independent, those are the people who get the most favor, right? The people who, when Angel wakes up on the first of next month, she's got $2,000 in volume. So this is her mentality. On the first of the month, she knows, well, I got 2,000 I can count on from Sam Dean. So I don't have to worry about that 2,000. I got 30 days. Where can I find 2,000 more dollars? Okay, well, I got let's see, I got Mr. Sal over here. Mr. Sal, he's a builder 1,000. So okay, so now I got 3,000. So now I got to find out where I get this other 1,000. Okay, so I got Don LaPlume. He was a builder 500. Okay, and so now I need five. Where I get this? Oh, okay. Sabrina, I'm sorry. Jackie was 2 away from builder 500 last month. I know for a fact I can get Jackie to builder 500, and that'll make me builder 4,000. And so all I gotta do is help her get 2. I can get that done right now. So now I can build what? The foundation, if I'm Angel, for builder 8,000. I can now go on a run. I can now go out and I can put as many people in business as possible. I can go out there and go on a recruiting spree, literally. But guess what? It continues to go up. And now you may say it goes up to the company, and it does. But it goes to something way more important than the company. It goes to the culture. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, when you actually create a culture of people running their subscriptions on the first and some on the 15th, you'll always have the most on the first, right? When people start to get it, you'll start to see your subscriptions migrate closer to the first than anything, right? And for those of you who are on the 15th, because you were on the back nine when it came to your subscriptions prior to this decision, and I strongly suggest you move yours to the front, right? To the first. Okay. And so even though it's set for the 15th, you'll still have the option to go to the first. That's leadership. Okay. And so you'll be able to talk to somebody from a position, of application, right? Something that you've done and you're on the first. So they're going to follow their leader. And they're not going to follow me because I did the training. They're going to follow the person that brought them into the company, right? They're always going to say the person who's at the top of the company has an agenda. And the agenda is for the company to win, but for me, it's for me to create this culture, right? And the culture that you want to create is you serving the people up and you serving the people down. That's what a 360-degree leader is, right? When you go look at that book, John C. Maxwell's 360-degree leader, guys, it'll talk to you about, being of service to everybody, not just your team, but to the big team. Right? Helping people cross line, sideline, up line, down line, guys. I'm gonna just tell you, a lot of you who learn these philosophies and you go out here and you build, because now all of a sudden, you have these people here, but man, when you start to branch out and you start to bring more people, and all of a sudden you got another 500 here, and you got another 1,000 here, you got another 2,000 here at some point, all right? You got another 500 here. 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. So now you got 4,000 down here plus the 2,000 right there. So now you had builder, 4,000, and you need 2,000. So you got 6,000 total. You need 2,000 to be at builder 8,000. Okay. So you need 2,000, just 2,000 short. So if you ended up the month at builder 6,000, guess what? Next month on the first, and whatever don't hit on the first, it'll hit on the 15th. But you know for a fact that you're going to count for 6,000 in volume. And so now you're looking at the month saying, where do I get 2,000 from? Now you start looking at all your access points, all your points of distributions, right? All the people who you've been working with, all the newest and the hottest people, which is where you're actually working. You're working with the newest and the hottest. You're not working with the ones that you like. Okay. You're working with the newest, the hottest. The people who are the newest, who say, I'm ready to run, you're working with them. You're working with the hottest, the people who are out here presenting, the people who are always packing out the lines when it comes to training calls, presentations and stuff like that. People who always have 3 ways for you to do. People who are always doing, showing the videos to people and doing 3 ways with you. Those are the hottest. People who are just on tears recruiting wise, the newest and the hottest. You will take those people, that subset of people, and you will find that 2,000 in the next 30 days with them. Then you build 8,000. And so what happens is you teach this culture coming down, guys. I'm telling you, the playbook. Go get your 4, play no more. Go get your 4, play no more. Go get your 4, play no more. This doesn't just stop with you, right? It starts with you. Everybody get what I'm saying so far? This makes sense so far? Because it's the simple stuff. Like, it's not about being exciting. It's not about having the best presentations. It's about having the best, game plan. It's about having the best understanding. It's about understanding that when I build a house, I don't care what anything else. When it comes to the foundation, if the foundation is weak, the house comes crumbling down. Okay? So all of y'all who are just putting people in and you're not helping them get their 4s and things like that, you're not helping them recruit at all. Those people who have nobody one day will eventually go away. And so you want to make sure if they're not selling anything, they're going to move around. And you want to make sure that you help them get some wins right away. And one day, the people who are just selling, they're going to accidentally recruit somebody. Okay? And what ends up happening is it may be the person they accidentally recruit that turns into a monster and sets this thing on fire and wakes that individual up. But always be looking for people to help recruit people. Always be looking for people who were just, 4 or 5 people away, 3 or 4 people away last month. Even if you had, 6 on your left and 5 on your right, I know now you just need 9. And now we got 20 days right now, knowing that you need 9 to go find 9 people. It's not that hard when you know the numbers, when you have a game plan. It's not that hard when we do 2 presentations a week as a company. It's not that hard when you have recorded videos, presentations. You have, also PowerPoints that you can download and point and read. It's not that hard, okay? But this subscription change, I'm just telling you that this is a matter of fact. Those of you who were in California, and we had the party at the event at the beginning of the year at the house. This was a conversation, an open conversation that we had amongst the leaders and the people who were in attendance, and everybody gave their idea. Okay, and so this idea right here, I'm just telling you, this is going to be the start to something special, and it's going to open up a lot of of the talent that we don't see right now. We have a lot of talent in this company. This is going to open up and expose a lot of people for the talent that they actually have. A lot of people are just waiting, for some changes to be made. They didn't even know what the changes would be. But when they see things get unlocked, they see things get moving, and now you get a chance to go out here and really have conversations with people in other companies saying, hey, look, how many people does it take for you to get 500 a month residual? Okay, well, let me show you what it took us. How many people take you to get to 1,000? We have people over here making $4,000 a month of residual, and they only put, 115 in on the left, 115 on the right, 230 people, right? How many people did it? And so basically, you're going to becoming a recruiting juggernaut based on the fact that your residuals, guys, and let me share some with you. This is another thing that happened for us. The people who we were recruiting, in that other company, they were making 50 grand. We had people making 50 grand a month come over. They were walking away from 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month. Okay. You know why? Because that's what they were capped at. We had people who were making 100 grand a month easy, and it was a regular thing. It wasn't extraordinary to us. It was ordinary to us because we blueprinted it. We designed it. We knew what to expect. So it wasn't a surprise. When somebody tells you, man, I'm making 8 grand a month and only put, 250 people in on the left and 250 people on the right, you go, wow, that means that you wasn't expecting it. You didn't believe that you could do it. That's why you go, wow, right? And we made the industry go, wow. We had people literally leaving their company, leaving 50 grand a month because we had people who had never had experience making 25, 30 grand a month. They were making less money, but they were making less money with less people, more efficiently, more effectively, and we were doing it more abundantly. Duplication is the key. And when you have a system that's really, really simple, like the one we have right now, and you have people who are winning who had never won before in the industries of direct sales, network marketing, stuff like that, when it came to building, structures, you'll have people here, I'm telling you, who are making 10 grand. You're going to recruit people who are making 20 grand, and they're going to have a lot more people, and they'll bring those people over. You get to 20 grand, you'll be recruiting people who make 50 grand a month. You get to 50 grand, you'll be recruiting people who will make 100 grand a month, right? Because you know how to design a blueprint and income, and most people in those other companies can't. I was talking to one of my buddies who was an Emerald, and the last company we were at, him and his wife, special people, amazing individuals, hard workers, grinders. And when I asked him last night, just asked him, said, so you remember how much volume or how easy it was, or how much volume it took us to get to $500 a month of residuals? He said, not the volume, but it was, it was easy for us because of the momentum and the excitement and everything. So again, the excitement and everything that the company had, it made people, it was easy for people to get to $500 a month, but he still couldn't tell me how to get to $500 a month, how he got there. It was a culmination of different things. It wasn't that blueprintable. It wasn't that simple, right? When I showed him how much, less work we do, how efficiently we are getting people to these ranks, and how this is going to just explode, it opened his eyes. This guy's a multiple seven-figure guy right now. He does extremely well what he does at the moment, right? And another company doing big things, has two companies that he owns. But people who understand money, when they see stuff like this, they lose it. Okay, and so I need you to lose it first, though. I need you to wrap your mind around this, guys. I need you to really understand what just happened. I really need you to see the vision right now. If you're not excited, it's probably because you really hadn't did anything yet, and that's fine. Okay. But right now, knowing what you have your hands on, knowing that we can come in here and we can switch the game up, we can make this thing happen and make this thing go pop. And you guys who had those real big goals and dreams of achieving, getting to $250,000 and a month and stuff like that, now you'll start to see, how real that actually is, how real that actually can be. Because when you start the month off, I'm just telling you, when you start the month off, like I know some people who literally I talked to at the end of the month who maybe like 7 people away from Builder 4,000, right? That's done this week. It's probably already done, right? From the new people they got coming into their businesses are probably already done. The auto ships just hadn't ran yet. But I can guarantee you by the 15th of this month, mark my words, you will have 1 or 2 people hit Builder 4,000 on the 15th when auto ships run. You will have a couple people who will build a 2,000 and build a 1,000 when auto ships. You'll have several people when auto ships run on the 15th of this month. You'll have several people who will hit builder 500. Okay, you'll have some people who hit builder 1,000. Mark my words. And I haven't even seen the numbers in individuals, but I just understand how this works, and I understand where we're at. Just Mark, you'll start seeing the banners on. You'll start seeing them soon, but on the 15th. Watch what I'm talking about. Okay. So one, I'll turn it back over to you, big guy. If you have anything else you want to close us out with the COO, as being the CEO of the company, it's all yours, big guy.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. And I'm just very excited for everyone because I see how hard everybody hustles that last week, how, much focus everybody puts out there. And I'm just excited for what we're about to see and witness this month. And Mr. Bean has set the vision. He, he just made me look at things in a different way. And it's just amazing. It's amazing what we're going to be doing here. So I already want to congratulate everyone because I know you guys are going to hit those big ranks.
Yeah. It was really, man, you talked about it. It was a mix of emotions. You had some people who were extremely excited based on the ranks they hit and the ranks, and they realized how close they were. You had some people who were frustrated because they felt like basically, I wish I had this at the beginning of the month. I would have actually hit my goal. And a lot of people said that to themselves and then to us. And so, I mean, like I said, you said it. And real quick, Ed, I see Ed Ayala on here as one of the leaders here, one of the key leaders of the company. Ed, you have anything you want to add or anything you want to say real quick before we jump off here? Don't raise your hand. Open your mouth.
You should be able to. You should be able to
now,
unmute.
now,
Ed. Now you can. Now you can.
You guys had me with a big tape over my mouth. I couldn't talk. Juan knows I like to talk a little bit, but yeah. Listen, Mr. Bean is a master at this. Okay, and I don't give false praise. He really is better than I am. Seriously, you have an ability to, like, look at that vehicle, right, and know exactly it's missing a tire, it's missing some brakes. Like, really has that ability. He's been able to transfer it to everybody here today. This was recorded, correct, Juan? Was this recorded? Juan, was this recorded? Yeah, yeah, it is being recorded. Okay. So I would watch this at least 2 more times. Why? Because learning how to build a structure is to work more efficiently, right? If you're putting low octane gas into a Lamborghini, you still got a Lamborghini. Here we have a Lamborghini, right? Or Bugatti, really. We have a Bugatti. But you want to put in that high octane fuel in your Bugatti. So we got a Bugatti. He's just showed you how to pour that high octane fuel by building on purpose, not by accident, okay? Sam, I'm guilty of that. I build on accident, right? Just create a bunch of stuff going on, work with the top people. But he showed you how to identify the right people to work with. Obviously, like JC says, work with the willing. But there's a lot of willing people out there that if they just got a $500 check, they're not going nowhere. So I'm just blessed we have incredible leaders with that mindset to be able to teach this so eloquently and so simply. Thank you, Mr. Bean. Let's give him a big hand. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, guys, again, y'all have it. I'm glad you guys were here with us today. Like I said, anybody who missed it, make sure you tag them in the Facebook. Make sure you actually send them whatever you can send them. Just make sure they're watching it, because you want your people educated if they're in the business. Now, the one thing I would warn against: do not send this to anybody that's not in the business. This is not a recruiting tool. This can actually work against you. Okay. And so again, you want to be mindful. You want to be thinking with your business cap on. So like I didn't have any of my guests on here, any of my prospects on here for a reason, because I didn't want them to think that this is network marketing, right? And I want to make sure I keep them in the business frame of mind. So when they get in, however, then you teach them this, you show them this, then you guide them, get them in first, and then you lead them, going forward. So just want to share with you guys. Guys, want to thank you again. Appreciate you. Thanks for the change, man. Man, you've done it. And Ed, I appreciate the words, man. Guys, let's go out there and let's make it happen. Let's go out there and make history. Let's go out here and break some ranks before the 15th. Watch what happens on Friday.
Thank you, Sam.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.